Right, so the big thing people seem to think when they think of cigars or cigarettes, for example, or a vape, is they tend to put both in kind of the same family, and they are the same family tree, but they're super, super distant cousins. So cigars compared to cigarettes are something like you do like when you're hyper, generally it's something that you do as a form of self-medication. It's something that you do as a distraction. It's something that you do like, oh, I feel stressed, I feel this, and so you go get a quick 15-minute 20-minute smoke. So it tends to be really more of an impulsive activity, or well, it becomes generally an addiction is what it comes down to. Like same thing, even like Zen. Like I, as you know, I do enjoy a Zen or a snooze on occasion. So I always keep a pack of nicotine around, but I don't use it daily. I'll use it generally a couple times a week, which probably I shouldn't even do that to be honest with you, but whatever. So, but for context though, a cigar you don't inhale, so albeit it has way more nicotine in this than a cigarette, you have less access, like the smoke isn't actually going to most of your body, so you don't absorb nearly the same amount of nicotine at all. So the addictive quality is not as high. I'm sure there are some people who will get addicted, but it tends not to be as high. But also for context, when I have a cigar, being that it's also time commitment, like I know I just committed to 45 minutes to an hour potentially with this stick, um, I am using this as a meditative time, as a time just to chill, reflect, enjoy the flavor of my cigar, the smoke. If you notice my surroundings, I was just at a gun range relaxing, and that's how I relax, right? And now I'm sitting here, basically, to me, what I perceive as nature among pine trees, which reminds me of my home in Texas and everything else. I just love it. And so this is a meditative time to relax and have some time to myself to just think and clear my head. And that's kind of the big difference as well, is that there's so much more thought that tends to go into um, cigars compared to cigarettes, that um, that um, it's just a more gentlemanly habit. As I said, you're less prone to the addictive quality of it because it is so time consuming and you have to put more thought into it. As I said, in this case, my way of using it is to complement my life goals already. And so this is the third cigar I've had this week. Third, and that's probably going to be it this week, maybe one more. But back to what I was saying, I'm using it as a time of reflection, to relax, everything else. So it's just very different from the hardcore, the chain smoker, stressed out. Like I think of my chain smoking grandparents, raised in the good old days when men were men and everything else, and just smoke cigarettes they dropped. Still made it to like 85 and 90, so can't be the end of the world. Still, I do not recommend cigarette use. But as I said, like this is a treat, so it's a lot more celebratory. So I'd say it's kind of like cigarettes are junk food, and then a cigar is more like if you are making your own food, like if you were, particularly like if you're making something that is very time consuming. So it's just very, very different. So yeah, you can see them as the same family, but it's drastically different. So, and also the expense of this is far higher than cigarettes, so you tend to be more conscientious of that as well, depending on where you're at economically. But anyhow, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Let me know if you share my thoughts. These are just my thoughts. I'm not an expert or anything, so just like listen if you will, or if you don't, that's fine too. Anyway, all right. Bye bye.